He'll hit level 2. I'm just wondering if, like, now with Nature's Prophet, oh, Nature's dead. That's actually first blood. Sneaking assassins will spilled up on the top lane. I'm actually wondering if Nature's Prophet is still viable as a hero. That's...
I definitely think he's viable. I just don't think he's gonna be, like...
I saw a puck remove level 4 treants life points with 1 orb. Here with just over half of the life points of those treants with 1 orb.
Yeah, that's true. He's going to be way weaker for the pushing. That was the main purpose, obviously, the change. Yeah. But I don't think he's necessarily he's fine. He's just getting nuked. But I don't think he's going to be like bad necessarily because he still fits into the metagame really well. It's going to be a lot of split pushing and trying to like get as much farm as possible.
Because the Silence is going to be triggering on him, the Hellfire Blast as well, and the DD room from Bian. Just walks in and just nails him down. 1-1, now on the board.
Yeah. Like I was saying though, I still think he's gonna be viable. He just won't be like as powerful for pushing early. But if like there's no one there to clear the treants with its spells anyways, and you're just split pushing, it obviously doesn't matter. So he's still gonna be pretty strong, and he can still farm the jungle with them and stuff. But I'd like to see them trying to shut down these treants more and like actually gathering their pull. I really believe they could do that with Skywrath. I don't know, they don't want to use Wraith King style on it obviously, but they could use their Skywrath nukes and stuff to try and kill the treants off. I haven't really tested that though, so I don't know how much more damage and if you can actually get rid of them. Because before the magic resist change, it was really close. Like if you just auto attack them and nuke them, you could almost kill them before they would block your spawn.
It's just if you think that mana is really going to be 100% worth it to bring down just a couple of treants.
That's true. I mean, he does have, well, he doesn't have clarities anymore.
Just how effective that ward positioning is over the top of Roshan. But he puts the ward in the lane, on the bottom, as opposed to putting it up on top of the cliff. Up on top of the cliff. And my process of thought, and maybe it's going to be right, is the fact that this ward, you see Ancients, and you see a little bit in the trees. And that's all you really get. If you're going to run aggressive wards, you use the ward spot the further back, or you still keep doing the one next to the secret shop. If you just want to see inside the lane, well, that kind of lane ward would be one way to do it, or you can just even have one down here in front of the tower, so you can still see up the tree line area. That was my thoughts on the whole matter. I don't know if you agree or not. Like if that position's worthwhile.
I don't think that position is that great. It's okay, but if you're like pushing the tier 1 and you think they're gonna fight it, then having vision of those trees could be really valuable. But other than that, it's not the greatest ward. There's certainly other ones around. If you're gonna find the tier 1 tower, if Sneaking Assassins are going to defend that, they would come in with a sentry ward anyway. Yeah, they would probably de-ward that. Not 100% of the time, but it depends on when you get the ward up. Also, I actually don't know. Can you place a ward on the hill from Roshan like without aggroing him?
I actually don't know. Never seen anyone try.
I was in like a lobby for 5 minutes before we played those games testing stuff out because the patch came out and then we like played, so. But I think if you could do that, that hill would might be more valuable because it would be a lot safer, obviously, if you could walk into the Roche pit and place it up there without having to like be walking behind their tower and going all the way back to the middle of the lane in order to try and get that ward up between the tier 1 and tier 2. Fatsoul's in big trouble. He does have his ult though, so they do have a blink on Sinking, and they have stun up on Venge. They already have TV rotation coming.
Yeah, the racing's already going to come down to help him out. But the Invis Rune on the Alchemist is going to scout out most of it. Not to mention Shank is halfway in the middle of it. Global Silence will be used, but with the Meg Charge up from TC, he's feeling very happy about all of this. Whitebeard's even going to get stunned up. So it's Wing Dagger as well. Fire Strike to Valve, the Ravage comes off from Ush. And then the fall Fire Strike into Patsol. So they will get a 3-for-0 trade-off. And probably even take the T1 tower to boot. Skywrath Mage sitting in the sidelines. With a Concoction Sun into a Wrath Mage, they could do something about this. But the tree's also coming down, so Concoction Suns have really grouped up. And Tidehunter will just blink it away from it, and their combo wafts.
They probably will be able to hold this tower though because of Acid Spray, but yeah, that was a pretty big fight, and they used gold.
They'll only get on TC, however. The Mystic Flare will connect, but TC, one of the tankiest heroes on their side. He doesn't have mana for a mech, however, which means this orb is enough to kill him. He couldn't trigger off the heal. He was too short. That's going to annoy the crap out of him.
And the Skywrath got a lot of money out of that because they were ahead so much, so.
That was the primary purpose of this.
He's in trouble and we got purple. I think we'll wrap it a little bit, but it shouldn't matter.
Fly's going to chemical rage, but a magic missile from Derp will allow him to get a double kill. They brought a lot of support in there, and Shank is still sticking around. It's not going to last for long, however, as now that Tier 1 tower will be forced out. The Rage is waiting to get back after that advantage if he gets a kill. But they did push it down a long way. It's almost 6k net worth going the way of Sneaky Nix and about 4k in the experience graph. Yeah, but I wanted to say before our next fight happens and while they go in and kill a Froshan, it's not over to Derp, but back in comes the Tidehunter, keeping the battle going, and TC is getting ripped apart by this double damage silencer. There's still going to be a revenge kill in for Nature's Prophet. As Ush and Shank fouling it up, Vipebeard return the fight. Burrow Strike not able to get there in time. The blink away, but TC is way away from him. Now Prophet will buy back, Raze will buy back, Shanks will die over in the new tree line. And we go 17-10. After all of that, I'd love to find a far which would actually show us the fight breakdown, but it's not over yet. Whitebeard gonna get stunned up. He's got one charge to keep him alive. Then the Burrow Strike out of the sands, out of the acid spray, giving TC a double kill after he lets off that plasma field. And they go back in to still finish off Roshan with 2,700. But Top5 coming back in again. The Mystic Flare is a great choke point for him to throw it off, but then again it'll be split up. So he seals up Whitebeard. The Orchid being used on the Wraith King. Roshan's still not dead yet. 900 life points. The Wraith King is nearby, but they can't go into contest anymore. Wraith will take the Aegis, the Immortal, and the extended team fight comes to an end. And they're not surviving that loss. Popping down. Now you're at the center in with Ravage 1 and Ravage 2. Oh, it's over. It's over. That will take the bottom rank. The Stars to buy back. But the top lane's pushing in so heavily. It needs a triple buyback to try and find him. The Burrow Strike. Hands off. He never going to go up again. Triple kill for TC. And the GG call comes out. Game number 1 belongs to Sneaky Nix Assassins and Top5. Having a rough run here in game number 1. But best of 3. The winner will advance themselves through the lower bracket of the ESL One and face up against, well, Complexity. And in that full best of 3, the winner of that will then travel to ESL One New York at Madison Square Garden Theater. We'll be doing our big broadcast. If you're in New York, make sure you get yourself over there. For now, though, short break. We'll be back for game number 2 in just a moment. Mike 88. He doesn't have time to walk away. The DT is still there. He's turning and he's trying to go for it again. He realized he was dead, so he may as well give it a shot.
Man, that wisp though, that was ballsy. I think going bottle, like I said too, you were saying he didn't rush it, but still getting at some point in the game could still be good, especially if he gets early gold from stuff like that. But yeah, trading hits with a Void in melee range as a Wisp when you have a DD rune, probably not going to end up like that for you most of the time. Would not recommend that. Luckily for him, they happen to get the kill that time.
At least the Mike 88 wasn't lose out in the experience on the top.
Yeah, the die farm strat, very good.
I'm not glad.
Well, it's not optimal, but it's better than not getting him either. True. They're gonna have a hard time zoning him out too, I think, with their heroes, because as long as he doesn't do greedy stuff like that, and he saves his time walk until the Tiny gets like a lot of. I guess once the Tiny gets some levels, he can actually just blow him up. It just depends on his backtracks. What's going on here? Oh, they're checking the runes, getting the bounty rune. I don't know why they have both people coming to check the bot rune.
Safety first.
It's an illusion.
Try to have a crack here in the bottom lane up against Shanks. So Magic Missile, Sunstride's going to hit correctly. Need a little bit more damage than what they've got, however. And the full phase boots aren't completed on the Invoker, so he didn't have the movement speed and the damage to keep up with him.
Or they did a cold snap and he wasn't capable of getting that yet.
He's only level 3 Invoker, he put everything he had into the Sunstrike.
This Elder Titan's actually getting a lot. He's doing a good, I mean, he's kind of low now, so he's sort of in danger zone. He's run out of regen. I mean, getting a bottle on Elder Titan would be crazy good now, obviously in the off lane. Oh, Derp, nope, not gonna get it.
That Enigma now with his Soul Ring up and running.
Yeah, it's really late though. He still has his camps blocked for another, actually, no wait. That one's gonna be...
And that will be guaranteeing the kill, and with the X's been triggered by TC, they're going to move up, kill off that Wisp with the Mask of Mana being triggered. IX might get able to take a double kill here. And they're just going to take the tier 1 tower on the top. TC can tank it up, he'll get his life points back anyway for the exorcism.
Tower is under attack.
And they're trying
They're actually defending with Elder Train and Pandol, which they probably can.
Radiant's top tower has been denied.
At the same time, though, the top tower is now going to be denied. The tier 1 tower in the bottom lane was already taken by Sneaky Nix, and the tier 1 tower in the middle lane is also forfeit. So Nix will be happy, like Sneaky Nix will be very happy with how much they've taken. They pushed their net worth advantage up to about 6,000, and their experience is also climbing rather rapidly up to about 4.2k there.
Oh my lord.
Oh, Mike wasn't really prepared for that. The Sunstrike, he tried to dodge it out, the all work, and TC, Yule set up buying himself some time. The Creeper is taking up a lot of that exorcism, and now Patsol, the double kill. Derp can be held in position long enough. The VS goes down to triple kill. In for Patsol. Give this man some money.
Oh my. So that is 3,400 gold. He didn't have very much before that. And that's the changes in work right there. But yeah, that was so ballsy of him to like try and not just abandon us, because he kind of leapt on the wisp and he could have probably ran in the trees and lived, but he actually just like blew up Mike before he did anything. He just popped his Master Madness, and Mike he was trying to.
They kill off Shaman, they kill off Wisp. There's your black hole over on the Tiny. Slowing him down. The BKB from Mike leaks down. And Patsol will take a fall. The Brewmaster ultimate is actually wearing out. He's running out of Brewmasters, and now he's back to his normal self. But the Exorcism up for the entire length of that engagement. The Elder Titan was the only man who escaped from this. But they'll lose the tier 2 tower, and they lose the fight so heavily. So heavily.
That's GG. TC has a refresher coming. Actually, it's in his stash. I think he meant to have it coming, but he forgot to pick up his items or something. I don't know. But yeah, if he had his ult going into the base, they could easily take 2 Raxes.
He's missing the perseverance for it.
Yeah, I think he has the money to buy it though, right?
He does.
Because I just saw the career flying the base and looked at it and saw it in the stash, but then I realized it wasn't the career. They're just using it to, I don't know if the career. Oh, getting the gem. Alright. Oh, there's the stalling tactics from Elder Titan, but at this point, like, they're just so ahead. This is like where you have such a huge lead that change doesn't really matter, because you can't kill anyone on the enemy team, so you're not going to get any of that bonus experience or gold. Which is kind of like what I was expecting to see. These teams that can farm more and they just like keep building up that lead until there's absolutely nothing to do. That's why top 5 was the one that needed to be looking for the fights, because you know that like Stinging Assassins are going to try and avoid giving you really bad fights, and they still did strip some. Like they were giving away kills here and there, but it wasn't so significant that it really swung the game back in top 5's favor. They just smoked under a ward, but
I don't think it really matters right now.
Yeah, I think they can actually just run up. They're just kind of waiting. Actually, what the? Wow.
Yeah, there's that refresher now out.
They have Chrono.
They're waiting for the refresher to arrive over on TC. The black hole is also still on cooldown for another 70 seconds. So this, okay, Mercy Please is a little bit too far out. And that Shaman does not last long. Not last long at all.
Why they pushed out?
Tiny wants to go throw the Titan in. He's waiting for the right time to do it. Now Brewmaster has done the split. Tiny's walking his way again. The Avalanche connect on Derp, and now the BKB is Tiny. xGame.kz, he's trying to beat down the Tiny. It's not enough damage. Easy splitter, slow damage to BS, and now the cleave. First kill goes the way. The entire Wisp tethers up. Enigma right behind him. Straight to Malvison, takes away that Wisp buff up. The Wisp will buy it back because he needs to try and help Patsol out here with the stomp, with the sleep. They're able to at least still bring him down. They try to buy a little bit more space. The Brewmaster dies outside the base to both push as well as to xGame.kz. And the push comes to the top tier 2 tower. The refresher orb gets triggered, so the exorcism for the second time is now used. More stalling tactics, but then TC just moved far enough in front. He wasn't affected by this. With a silence over on Shanks, there's a relocate save up to the high ground.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But they still lose top racks. And they've lost mid racks. And the tier 4 tower's going down.
Buybacks from everyone. This is just, it's over, but let's choose everyone on that.
See how much they can get. Whitebeard, BKB, he's 50 feet out. Ooh, that damage to Mike. There's a lot of it. Not enough. Not enough to
see,
get the kill.
This is just the smart, safe plays that you're going to see from Teams More. They're not going to be like, even though there's this ahead, they're
get the silence. And the basic attack with a deafening blast meteorite against every single player of top 5. Evoker, he's in trouble. This is 6-1-60 to Evoker. The Sentry Ward, like he just does, sorry, being triggered already. The toss will go when the Chrono controls and flies. He's going to get isolated. 4 seconds until split. He's silenced up for, stunned up for now. And then Hex swapping back. The black hole is going to go and it holds fly. He couldn't get the split off in time. Mike with a nice Chrono. Shanks TP's out on top of a hill spot. But that is GG, and Sneaky Nick's Assassins will advance themselves through and play up against Complexity for that final slot at ESL One New York to represent America. There's already 3 teams that will be heading there from America. EG, Navi US, and then it's just up to the Sneaky Nicks, or will it be Complexity? Well, as far as the European bracket goes, Cloud9 as well as Secret have already qualified themselves through, going 2-0s in their qualification matches. And Alliance still have a date with Virtus Pro. And with Virtus Pro, initially the plan was for VP to play their game from China, because they needed to win their game. Obviously, we're only like 13 days away from ESL One, so they needed to win this early on so they could organize their visas. But they couldn't. They had to play it out. But they've lost. They've lost pretty badly in I-League, so they'll be coming back to Europe early. So they'll be playing their game on tomorrow night now, so the 27th at 20 CEST. And PR vs xGame will be playing their game today. In fact, they are playing their match, and let me do my calculation right now. 6 hours and 42 minutes. No, that's not right. 8 hours and 42 minutes. 7 hours and 42 minutes. There we go. Calculation was wrong. It's too early in the morning. And I'll be back to cast that one for you. Bright and early. Wide and awake. It'll be wonderful. Pandago, thanks for joining me, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. They were pretty good games. I think Sneaky Nick's Assassins had definitely sort of like found their way in this patch already. I'm sure they'll still have some things to do, but like they've been picking a lot of the heroes that are good at farming around the map and sort of picking smart engagements, like with Nature's Prophet, with Mike the first game, and Invoker in that sort of sense. So should be interesting to see that Cole versus Snog game. Should be good games.
I'm looking forward to it, man. So for now, thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys back here for our live stream at 14 CEST. The pickup and throwdown won't be saving Reeves here. First blood goes the way of PowerRangers. And they'll even take the illusion rune as well, and Bristleback takes the bounty rune. The Batrider's not giving up on this. 3 sticky napalm stacks make that 4. There's no stick charges available here to Cheshire Cat. And he's also got no Bristleback available either, which means the damage coming up right now from the Batrider is probably going to be more than enough. 6 stacks. He'll need a 7th if he's going to kill him underneath this tower. And there's your 7th, but he can't get close enough. And with 3 core stacks into the back of the Batrider, he's also very cautious about it. He tried to go again. Will attack and at least cancel off the Sal. There's a lot of consumables wasted here by Cheshire Cat. And he's also completely out of mana. While on the bottom lane, we just sick. Looks like we've managed to smooth ourselves up. They're going for Waterfucker. Magic Missile, the track follow-up stun. The Bouncing Cask will now go. And, well, Equal, he stayed way too close for this. I mean, the Bouncing Cask was able to have the extra bounce. And the Sentinel will go down. PowerRangers off to a very good start. Pushing Equal back behind the tower. The only lane which isn't going 100% for them is this top lane. That's just a little bit off at the moment. Alright. Aggro tri-lane is not something I really want to move away from. And PowerRangers off to a very good start with their 2-0. This dual safe lane now. It's pushing the Jakiro into a core roll while the Centaur's away. And he'll come back, but we just sick. Mana is back up again. They're looking for the Magic Missile stun. Bouncing Cask has to be used because you're not going to get the Latrak follow-up stun. And in fact, you're not going to get it anyway. A little lightning bounce damage out here. But that's all. The Liquid Fire able to burn up most of the PowerRangers guys and push them back. Speaking of burn, how's the top lane going? 3-2 up against a 6-1. When you're down that many consumables, he's got stick charges now though. That's not as bad. When you're down that many consumables, you still have to play a little bit more defensive. Well, Mantis in the middle lane, it's 5-0 up against 10 for 4. So another reason why I wasn't that certain about this pickup of the Nagasar, and it just didn't look right up against the Death Prophet, because the Death Prophet is able to deal with your illusions pretty early on. But Mantis, I think, is also reliant on the new meta, which is having these 2 runes always. So they're able to pick up the bounty room, which is actually some nice experience in gold very early on in the level, in the phase. So he's able to keep up with the Death Prophet, even if he does leave the lane. I think he's really going at it again. 5 napalm stacks over on that bristleback. The stick charges make it very difficult for the Batrider to ensure the kill. He's got stick charges of his own. it's Quills versus napalm right now on the top lane. And 8 versus 0 charges. He doesn't want to trigger all these just now. He wants that to be a surprise charge. So, bristleback able to farm up pretty freely underneath this tower. So for all the harassment that's been there, it's still a very even CS. And this Naga Siren, 11 for 0, with the consistent bottle charges, I'm actually surprised. Okay, Mans is really overworking this courier. But as a Naga starting to go up against Death Prophet, he has to be doing the span. This Sentinel is my primary concern. Like, you're running a defensive tri-lane with a Sentinel, and he's incapable of getting anywhere near that blue dagger. And now he's getting caught out. The bouncing stun with Lethrak fall up, lightning, and split earth. Not enough damage. The restoration from the Witch Doctor running through a lot of mana here. Just to try and make sure, one, he and his team stay alive. And we just stick. It's a good thing he's got these stick charges. That gives him his magic missile when he needs it. His Manas and Shashlo having more fun. It's now what are we up to? 3 points up on the Crypt Swarm with 2 points Witchcraft. So the burst damage is still quite reasonable, but with Naga Siren getting mass bottle runs off, you can leave the illusions in the mid. And in fact, they're going to try and room control this completely. So the bottle charges for the Batrider. Steals the bounty rune. While on bottom lane, the illusions were coming down to deny up, would you believe, the illusion rune. Lethrak's now ended up dying because those illusions also scouted out the fact that Witch Doctor as well as the VS are there. And with that, you know the Lethrak is by himself. They pounced, in fact, before the point they even knew that. They will be able to protect the illusion room for the Death Prophet. But it doesn't really matter while Manus is still working the courier. Because he's still getting the bottle charges required, and it's the Batrider who's able to run this. So we have the dawn of the dual bottle has arrived. Batrider trying to get in front of Cheshire Cat. He needs to as well to get that Firefly to do some work. That's why he needs to have those Tranquil Boots up and running, just for that bonus movement speed to get in front of the Bristle. And for the moment, I actually almost want to take... Okay, that's not great. Alright, sorry about that, we're streaming again, so looks like our network's dropped for a while. I'll explain that one a little bit later. We're having some tech problems in the office today. I don't know if you guys even noticed the different light channels. Meanwhile, Santon can be initiated now down here on the bottom lane. The pickup throw down, Ult Stomp, however, able to get that double, actually not able to get the double edge off if he's able to. We just stick to be a faster kill right now. The Bristleback in the meantime has also managed to get that kill on the off laner. Actually off on that Jakiro, sorry. Who actually ended up going into that off lane. And it's a big 2-for-2 trade-off across the board. So the tower will drop. There's a lot of support coming over trying to find Shashlo. There's no ability to jump, however, from xGame. Good to go. Do they let Moon survive? There is no mercy. No mercy shall be granted. It's going to be both of them down. Oh, I suppose that's capitalizing on everything you've got. xGame want the victory, need the victory. They can battle up against Navi tomorrow.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
There's now Manus at the top tower. That Radiance is on the way for him. 2,500 gold already towards it with the Ring of Aquila. I know if we subscribe to the miracle way of playing the Naga, it's having both drums as well as Ring of Aquila before you then go into the Relic. Manscape looking for 3-year pickup. Shashlo triggering his ultimate, but already with Manus gets the kill. He's got to back up, get this guy out of here. The ghouls can't reach him in time. Now your Hawk Stomp double edge comes in from Wadafucker. There's your count on 37 life points. Shashlo, 48 for him. Wadafucker, 23. The spirits are able to reach him. And the kills will arrive. And Charge slow, maybe with his ultimate, he's hoping to catch someone at the tree line and just push the lane. The major survival right there from xGame was the fact that Manus did not die. He now has the relic, and with a little bit of time farming up on the top lane, he'll have the full radiance as well. And these engagements from PRs are going to be really difficult. They'll start the fight at already half-life.
Radiant's middle tower has
attempted denial there by the Rubik. He has to back up. He's out of life. He's out of mana. Turn it off. Macro fire and watch him burn. Burn in the fires. Manus with a triple kill in this game. And he's looking for xGame.kz. And he won't get it. The Batrider will take that one. A full team wipe up against PowerRangers. The Naga set up into the ice path was perfect. They're going to come for the tier 2 towers. They don't care about Roshan at the start of this game.
Is under attack.
They want the map control and they want to breach high ground. They won't be able to with the timer, like with the heroes on the sidelines. They might get to force some buybacks. And again, it's only the Bristleback and the Shrike that have the buybacks. PowerRangers must just have hit the point where they said, you know what, if we can't take a fight, if we can't get that huge advantage which we gain from winning team fights, then there's just no way to come out on top in this game. So they try to take the fights and then get back to defense. Couldn't happen, no advantage gained, and that means game number 1 will go the way of xGame, and they are 1 victory away from a playoff match with Na'Vi to see who will attend the wonderful world of ESL One New York, of course, to be hosted at the Madison Square Garden Theater. I hope to see you there. I'm going to be having a great time streaming it from there. It's going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. 13 days. 13 days away, so get your tickets if you haven't already done so. In the meantime, short break, and we'll be back here in just a couple of moments' time. Oops. He's dead. That's actually first blood. He had to go directly into Roshan. That was the only way he would have survived them. He had to go directly into Roshan. But it did not happen. And his Firefly ran out while it's just going over the hills. And that means first blood goes the way of the Skywrath Mage, so high money coming in for him. That'll be his boots for now. And the Arcanes for later. It's a mana-intensive lane when you look towards the ST, but Shakira not as much. This Liquid Fire costs you nothing, and they've already got the Ring of Basilius up to force the lane, and the Liquid Fire is meant to be able to just beat down in the lanes. That's the goal of this. Alright, bringing down these tier 1 towers is a good injection of money. And from there, the Naga Siren's able to get a lot more money into her. Sends her illusions everywhere, trying to find these runes. It must be a bounty rune to start with. Cheshire Cat will end up stealing that one. Timber Sword chains up, but the rune was already gone. And the bottom tier 1 tower is kind of forfeit at this point. Reeves is making his way down. He's got a haste rune. It's going to be a double kill for what a fucker. His Timber Chain's available. We just think into the tree, which he could have gone to. But what a fucker gets himself a double kill. Liquid Fire, he won't care. The haste rune's still got a little bit more of a duration left on it. And rancing into Sharslow. Sharkram, too short on the Sharkram. But that's now your mid-solo picking up a double kill. Sure, you lost your supports. I don't think that's a real problem for him. Even Lion moves the bottom lane now to soak up this experience on the off lane. While it's done over onto J4, but he'll still lose his life on the bottom lane. Caught up his wards, now a TP support coming in from the Batrider. He's going to get sealed up. They have Liquid Fire and Ice Path coming back off cooldown again. So it's a Liquid Fire into the tower. And Wonderfucker was making his rotation over. And I got a funny feeling that was actually a type kill right there. Smith, and Batrider jumps in. He's got the 4-star. Lasso and Dragon back, keeping that Firefly in on top of the 2 heroes with the Sharkers. Mystic Flare, minimal to no damage whatsoever. xGame taking 2 kills here. Timber Soul actually denied himself off to one of the Ancients. While Batrider being silenced up, blinks himself up and away from Moon the Macropire. Way too short to do anything. So it's a 2-for-1 trade-off. There was a denial from the Timbersaw, which means no advantage gains there by PowerRangers, and we just lose the Skywrath Mage again. Manus is there. It's a good, actually, pullback. Then with the Esper disarm. What a fuck. A lot of trouble for him. Manus to follow after the 2 cores dropping. No stuns available here for Reeves going into the tree line. Naga the only death right now for PowerRangers. And Reeves trying to juke it up as quick as he can. Turns, able to pick up a double stun. The Flame Break also buying that space. There's a Blink Dagger available. The concussion shot will fly into the Lion. And the Courier, yo, what you doing? He's taking again the gem from Reeves. But he's going to lose the Courier while doing such a thing. Reeves is away to safety. He's just being very over cautious. Keeping him low. The Ice Blast already able to connect. Eagle's going to keep the charge low. Well, he's got enough damage. We'll get the kill. That ET though, dropping so low. He won't drop low enough to die. The Ice Blast won't last that long. This game will take the victory. They'll go 2-0. And tomorrow, they will battle up against Na'Vi. I'm fairly certain Na'Vi will be betting 1 Terrorblade. And 2 will be looking at a couple of these games to make sure they know exactly what is in store for them. But a big game between xGame. That means with that victory, they go 2-0. And the final 2 slots to come out from the European qualifier for the ESL One will be decided tomorrow. As long as the game gets confirmed for the scheduled time. We should have Na'Vi versus now xGame coming up at 15 CEST tomorrow. And then our last European qualifier, the Virtus Pro lineup, have now returned themselves to Russia. And they'll be back in time to play up against Alliance. They'll be coming up at 20 CEST tomorrow. We'll have the WePlay match. It's also starting later on tonight, 20:30 CEST. A couple of best of ones. It's the preliminaries before we start the main event on Saturday and Sunday. So stay tuned for all that action. You can check all the details out, of course, for all the matches, all the coverage. Joindota.com. They've got a nice little big coverage tab, so you can follow all the information there too. So for now, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time on the live stream.